working under candlelight, writing the foundation of what is our country. They're swimming across rivers of ice fighting Indians and the French. They were valiant. They were brave. They didn't dodge the draft. They didn't take their medals and throw them over a fence. They knew what it took to build something. Then they didn't take that credit and say, oh, somebody else helped me build it. They built it. They built this. And now it's dematerializing. When you have an idea, and that idea is freedom, and there's aspects of it that you have to exercise, like a muscle. You have to work your muscles out all the time for them to be strong. If you don't, atrophy sets in, and slowly they get weaker. That is what our freedoms are doing right now. If you don't exercise them, they're getting weaker by the day. You have to exercise your freedoms. The founding fathers knew that, and that's what they were doing. They were overthrowing a government. They were starting a revolution, and then knowing what it took to do that, and the risk and death and the blood and the screams, they didn't want to risk that again. So then they gave us, the people, the power to try to prevent that from ever happening. And we, the people, are giving that away right now. The founding fathers had wisdom, they had foresight, and that was because they knew what hard work was. And the freedoms are constructs. They're going to blow away unless we start working them. So right now, figure out the best way that you can go exercise your freedom of speech, your freedom to bear arms, your freedom of religion. Do it. The founding fathers wanted you to do it. Go do it.
All right, again, that was a special message from Tim Kennedy, and we are in hour number 4. Thank you so much for joining us. We're going to give you a quick wrap up here of what we see in California. The results so far, it looks like California is not going to change anything for Bernie. I've been watching these numbers as they slowly go up. We are now to 8% reporting, and the percentages really aren't changing. It's 63 to 36%, Hillary Clinton ahead. And the only place that Bernie Sanders won was in North Dakota, where he came out 64-26. So he did really well there, but he's not doing too well anywhere else across the country. There's a couple of close races, but Hillary Clinton is winning all 5 of the races, including the big one in California, where Bernie Sanders had pinned all of his hopes. Jakari.
Absolutely. And while I'm not a Sanders supporter, I really wish he would have did better, just because I'm not a Hillary supporter. I don't like Bernie, but I don't like Hillary that much more. But
well, he was anti-establishment. He was outside the establishment because he's a socialist, not a Democrat.
And at least he didn't have this closet full of skeletons of these scandals. And it really is disturbing to me that people will completely overlook just the laundry list of Clinton stories going back decades.
Corruption is not an issue anymore. I mean, he was, like you said, he was an authentic guy. And compared to Hillary, he seems like an honest guy. He doesn't have the scandals. There may be something happening with his wife and that university, but I don't think that's a corruption that I don't think that's really corruption. And it may be incompetence. It may be something that she did wrong on her own, but it is not like the Clintons buying and selling influence out of government, okay, raping people. I mean, this kind of rampant Caligula Rome type of corruption, and people just don't care about it. They just don't care. And so, yeah, nobody's got a perfect life, but Bernie was not a Roman emperor like the Clintons, okay? And it's really sad to see that really doesn't make any difference to them. That they're just going to completely ignore that and go with somebody that is known to be such a corrupt entity. And so, yeah, from that standpoint, we disagreed with a lot of the policies of Bernie. We agreed with some of his policies. I mean, he was for some things that we agree with. But that's the thing I think is very concerning, to see how she can sweep this through with the Democrat establishment and the Democrat voters because they just look the other way for the corruption.
Absolutely. Now, we're going to end with this special report since we're talking about Mrs. Clinton, special report from John Bound. But before we do that, we definitely want to thank everybody who's been watching us tonight. I know it's been a very long broadcast, but it's support of people like you that allow us to do these broadcasts, that put us in the studio, the new studio that Kit was broadcasting out of, to send the reporters around the world, Rob Dew, Leanne McAdoo, John Bound, who's going to show us this report, Richard Reeves, Joe Biggs, everybody out there in the field. It's your support when you go to INFOWARS.com. When you go to INFOWARS shop, you get the great products there. You get the great nutraceuticals. You get the T-shirts, the Hillary for Prison T-shirts. Very popular right now. You can get those at a great price. Also, the Anthroplex and the many other things there, the air filters, everything there at the INFOWARS shop. So we're going to sign off tonight with this special report from John Bound talking about Hillary Clinton, the criminal psychopath of the NWO. And this is a report that you definitely want to watch. You want to get this out to your friends and family. It's a very topical report, especially with Mrs. Clinton so close to clinching the nomination. I'm Jakari Jackson from the INFOWARS Nightly News, joined by David Knight here in the studio, and we'll see you again tomorrow night.
Prepare yourself for the main event. Hillary Clinton has, by most accounts, clinched the Democratic presidential nomination, dragging her mountainous pile of scandals into the last round to possibly make her the next president of the United States. Hillary's rise to the White House is akin to Richard Nixon in reverse. This is the same woman who recently gave a speech on income inequality wearing a $12,000 Armani jacket. The same woman who, according to a Secret Service account, punched Bill Clinton so hard she gave him a black eye. Granted, Bill probably deserved it, but that is only one clear example of the temperament that could quite possibly have access to 1,750 active nuclear warheads.
She's got health issues, and they're going back and asking me and others that have known her since the beginning, what is it about Hillary? And Hillary, Alex, has had a mental issue since day one. She does not like people. She is an animal. She's everything I've told you she is. And it is a mental problem. And that's what's causing her trouble running this election, to be quite honest. You can't make her a people person. You just can't do it. And so that's where we're at. But there's going to be stories about that. But remember, none of these things are going to hurt Hillary. None.
And the Secret Service desperately wants Americans to know that the real Hillary Clinton is a monster. According to page 6, Secret Service agent Gary Byrne writes in his new tell-all book that Hillary repeatedly screamed obscenities at her husband, Secret Service personnel, and White House staffers, all of whom lived in terror of her next tirade. Secret Service agents had discussions about the possibility that they would have to protect Bill from his wife's physical attacks, Burns writes. And the couple had one violent encounter the morning of a key presidential address to the nation. Will Hillary spend the first 100 days of her presidency pardoning herself and permanently silencing her husband's accusers, simultaneously sicking the IRS and the FBI on the Clintons' enemies? Here are just a few of the unanswered scandals that will surface yet again when Hillary is president, courtesy of WorldNet Daily. Vince Foster's 1993 death, Benghazi, Whitewater, Emailgate, Chinagate, Travelgate, Pardongate, the Clinton body count, where 91% of the Clinton Foundation's money really went. Hillary's assistant, Muslim Brotherhood-tied Huma Abedin's involvement with the Saudis to establish a Muslim America, and we could be here all day if I just kept on going, but it appears stealing the Democratic presidential nomination is child's play to the career criminal known as Hillary Rodham Clinton. The Clintons even attempted to loot the White House when Bill's term ended. The Clintons tried to take $190,000 from the presidential mansion in furniture and gifts, attempting to have it shipped back to the Clintons' Chappaqua, New York home. And according to the General Accounting Office, the cost of the White House vandalism reached about $14,000. The agency said some of the destruction was intentional, including glue smeared on desks, broken furniture, offices full of trash, and graffiti in a men's restroom stall that disparaged Bush. There were also missing doorknobs, medallions, and office signs. Is there any question that Hillary will sign away any remaining sovereignty the United States has left to her globalist overlords, acting as the cleanup crew for Obama's two-term facade of a presidency, carrying on the Bush presidency's unyielding New World Order disintegration of the U.S. Constitution? John Bound for INFOWARS.com.
Alex Jones here with a message to fellow freedom lovers. The prognosis for the entire planetary economic system runs from bad to worse. The globalist model is to shut down societies and starve patriots out until they acquiesce to the global takeover. That's why we've assembled the most vital and important preparedness items at INFOWARSshop.com. These are items that I did research on, that I personally use. We've got the Life Straw, so you can turn fetid water into safe water anywhere you go. The K-Tor hand crank generator to charge up key equipment during power outages or out in the field. Strategic Relocation, 3rd edition by Joel Skousen. When Disaster Strikes by Matthew Stein. ThyroSafe, used by Homeland Security to protect yourself during any radiological event. Hand crank shortwave AM/FM radios. Everything that we've researched and found to be the best is available at InfoWarsShop.com, and your purchase makes our InfoWar possible. We're getting prepared. Are you? InfoWarsShop.com.
You all look great. The end of the Republic has never looked better.
It's time to shake the rust off America's foreign policy. No country has ever prospered that failed to put its own interests first.
Shut up! Shut the f*** up! You know what's good for your health, homie?
This represents slavery, colonialism, genocide, oppression, and it's all right to burn that shit!
Both our friends and our enemies put their countries above ours. And we, while being fair to them, must start doing the same.
He said that us Mexicans are bringing all types of bad people to this country. That's incorrect, dude.
They're bringing drugs.
We just caught these guys coming across the border. 1, 2, 3, 4. They have big satchels.
They're bringing crime. They're rapists. And some, I assume, are good people. We will no longer surrender this country or its people to the false song of globalism. The nation state remains the true foundation for happiness and harmony.
We have kids because we like sex. No, we're having kids ready to start this war. Believe me. I got another one on the way. She'll be strapped up, ready for you. Come get it. Come get it. Come knock on my door and see what happens. We're ready. We're ready.
We're going to build a wall. It's going to be built.
I voted for border security, and some of it was a fence. I don't think we ever called it a wall. Maybe in some places it was a wall.
He is not only a racist. He's not only a misogynist.
Yeah.
He is a fascist. Donald Trump is a Nazi. Trump equals 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 Nazi.
He is hurting our unity at home.
Why don't you turn your camera? Show them how many people come to these rallies. Turn them. Go ahead, turn them. Go ahead.
Leah McAdoo with InfoWars.com. I am here in West Hollywood, California, and the polls are about 15 seconds from closing. We're still waiting to see, could Bernie Sanders potentially take California, even though they've already called it for Hillary Clinton. The math has made history. The superdelegates have decided tonight. You can see they're counting down. This is the key race here in California, 400 plus delegates to be won here in California. Of course, it's still too early to call, but they've already called it late last night. We're going to go find out from these women. We would just like to know, what does the country have to look forward to with a Hillary Clinton presidency? Hillary Clinton for president, what does the country look like?
If she becomes president, well, first of all, the country looks a lot more united instead of divided. The country looks a lot less racist. The country wakes up the morning she gets in with hope.